The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
1,
2,
3,
4.
Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster
Movie.
Fun time.
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honey Bee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. 31 Days of Horror. Mars needs movies. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Honey Bee.
And this season we are talking about movies of alien invasions, incursions, infiltrations, and visitations. And today's movie is War of the Worlds from 2005. And this is kind of the reason we're doing this whole series. Tell us why, Honey Bee, for those who just tuned in.
All right, if you didn't listen to our last episode, shout out to my ex-boss, Max, who, when he found out about our podcast, he asked if we had done War of the Worlds, and I was like, oh, I remember seeing that, like, in theaters when it came out, and I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, I sort of remember this movie, I don't know why we didn't do it, and I had, like, sent a message to Precious and was like, hey, why didn't we do this, and he was like, oh, man, there's a whole rabbit hole, so then we kind of dove down that rabbit hole, and this is kind of where we fell. Here we are, welcome, this is kind of where we fell, here we are.
Yeah, so this is, probably the biggest adaptation.
What do you mean by biggest? Like most successful?
Biggest budget, most successful, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because it is directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Tom Cruise, and we'll get to the rest of the cast in a moment. It's from 2005, 117 minutes in color in English. Budget was $132 million. Box office was $603.9 million.
Damn.
Where is it showing if the folks want to watch it?
Where is it showing?
I
watched your digital copy of it, so honestly I'm not sure.
Because the 50s version is like on MGM Plus, and nobody has MGM Plus.
Yeah.
This one is on Starz and Paramount and Pluto. It's on Pluto for free.
Okay,
folks.
all right, sick. Yeah, that's cool.
So there you go. You'll have to watch ads, but what do you want for nothing? The cast is Tom Cruise as Ray Ferrer.
Sure.
Dakota Fanning as
Hey.
Rachel Ferrer. Is it Ferrer or Ferrier?
I don't fucking know.
Anyway, Dakota plays his daughter. This is one of her earliest gigs. She does a fine job. Miranda Otto as Marianne Ferrer.
She's amazing. An amazing job.
Tim Robbins as Harlan Ogilvy. Justin Chatwin as Robbie Ferrer, or Ferrier, whatever the fuck his name is. Rick Gonzalez as Vincent. Yul Vasquez as Julio. Lenny Veneto as Manny the Mechanic. Lisa Ann Walter as Cheryl. Ann Robinson as grandmother, and Gene Barry as grandfather. They were the stars of the 1953 version. We just see them at the end. They have no lines. It's just a quick cameo. David Allen Bosch as Tim. Roz Abrahams as herself. She must have been one of the news people. Camilla Saines as news producer. Amy Ryan as neighbor with toddler. David Harbour as dock worker. Oh, it's a deleted scene. Okay. Danny Hawk as policeman. Morgan Freeman as the narrator.
Yeah.
Columbus Short as soldier.
This was just, it was so funny because as soon as Morgan Freeman starts talking, I was just like, ah, yes, 2005, when, I don't know if it felt like, or Morgan Freeman actually did, narrate everything.
Yeah. I will be narrating everything. I am Morgan Freeman.
Yes, I was like, oh, 2005, fuck yes, good to be back. Morgan Freeman.
Columbus Short as soldier, Daniel Franzese as National Guardsman, Channing Tatum as the boy in the church.
What?
He's just a boy. He wasn't
just
the
a
Channing
boy.
Tatum. He was just boy in the church. And Ty Simpkins as 3-year-old boy. I met Morgan Freeman once.
What?
Yeah. Before I lived in New York, we took a trip to New York. Our college theater class took a trip to New York, and I saw him on Broadway in The Gospel at Colonus, which is an adaptation of the Greek play Oedipus at Colonus. Then I hung around after and managed to get his autograph and meet him and tell him how much I used to love watching him on The Electric Company, and then a month later read an article where he says he hates being remembered for The Electric Company.
Damn it.
So,
no.
Yeah. So, Honeybee, what are your initial thoughts, feelings, impressions of War of the Worlds?
Well, I remember watching this when it came out and thinking like, fuck yeah, it was cool. But then probably didn't watch it again after that. I remember liking it at the time, but watching it this go around, like I did remember certain parts, but it was basically like watching a new movie to me. And man, I thought the cast was great. I thought it was really weird to see Tom Cruise be like a regular guy. Like, cause usually he's just like Tom cruising it up, or like, yeah, like,
instead of spy guy?
Yeah, like spy guy, or like some sort of cop, or like flying out of a fucking, who knows, just Tom Cruise shit, or like jumping on a couch, just preaching about Scientology and his wife. I don't know. It's just weird to see him as like a normal, regular ass dude. Yeah.
A shitty father?
I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch, but yeah, I mean, just like a regular guy, goes to work every day, has fears, is a fuck up, like a regular person. It was kind of just weird. Also, Dakota, okay, a girl. I was like, what has this poor baby child gone through to be able to pull these emotions out of her tiny little body? Like, oh my gosh, she was incredible. She did so good. There were so many dynamics that I just was like, wow, she did amazing with her, anxiety and the portrayal of that. But then there's a whole fucking war on the world, and she's still this like empathetic person. I don't know. It was just, I thought she did beautifully. And I remember seeing this at the time and really loving her then too. But to see her now and the mind frame that I have of like being an adult and seeing little baby Dakota Fanning was just such a joy. And then now watching her sister too, just such a joy. I feel like a proud mom moment. And I just think she did amazing. Yeah, I thought this movie kicked ass. I thought it was great, very thrilling, very action-packed. I think that there is a lot to be said for the dad being a quote-unquote shitty dad, and I feel like this movie does a really great job of portraying the reality of a man losing his family and his wife and his kids and her moving on, and just like how difficult that is, how as a human like it affects you and all of these things. And I think they just did a really good portrayal of that, and then how that dynamic went into the whole War of the World and how it evolved through the movie and came out at the end like, okay, we're alive. I thought it did a really great job of that. I love the, huge monster noises, and of course the scale of the kaiju, if you can call them that in this movie. I don't know, but I like the scale of them. And then when we actually get to see the alien Oh my god, they're so adorable. Why are they so cute? Like, I was like, they're so cute. So yeah, I thought this movie rocked balls. I really liked it. I think the evolution from radio show to 1953 to 2005 War of the Worlds is like so perfect, and I love it, and I wish that we could stay here. I actually never want to watch the other 8 movies because I feel like it's just going to piss me off. But I do, I really love this version. I'll probably, like you said, it's the biggest it's the biggest because it's great. It's really great. There was just a few moments in the movie that I really remembered. But yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was great. What about you?
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Yeah, we didn't mention it last time, but there is a version that was just released this year that everybody's been talking about. But it was
not in a good way. Not good things.
Yeah. Well, everything about it makes sense when you realize that it was filmed during COVID, but then they sat on it for a couple of years for some reason. So if you just realized they were doing the best they could under the circumstances,
okay,
you'd be more forgiving. But very weird to release it now, and it is on the other end of the spectrum from this movie. But folks, we're thinking of spinning this off into its own podcast, the Mars Needs Movies, and if that happens, we will do a whole episode on that one. But this movie, there's a lot here that's good and a lot that I like, and a fair amount of stuff that is from the book, in spite of the fact of them setting it now or in 2005 and in America. It's still clear that somebody has read the book. But there's an element of it that kind of spoils the movie for me.
Okay.
And I don't know if it completely ruins it, but it just spoils it a little bit. This is Steven Spielberg's third Alien movie. His first was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and the second one was E.T. And when he made those two movies, at some point, I'm pretty sure he said that he didn't ever want to show aliens in a negative light. He didn't like the idea of evil alien invaders. Mm-hmm. And then 9/11 happened. And for Spielberg, he seems to be one of those people where 9/11 changed everything. Their whole worldview was upset and disturbed by that event. And then he made this movie.
I don't understand the correlation with the aliens. He was like, you know what? Aliens are evil because terrorists.
Yes, because he made this movie as a metaphor for that. At least this is my interpretation. Okay. I don't know if there's any direct quotes, but the idea that rather than them crashing here, landing in their cylinders, that they had been buried here underneath us all along. That's the whole metaphor for the terrorist part, that they've been here among us this whole time, just waiting for their moment to rise up and attack us.
And this, you said this is your interpretation of it. This isn't like you heard him say that.
Well, I don't know if I've heard him say directly that. Well, there's numerous times in the movie where people keep saying, "Is it the terrorists? Is it the terrorists?" Before it becomes clear that they're not. The one thing I did find was like he just thought the coming here spaceships had been overdone, so he wanted to have them buried. But it seems to me that is part of his metaphor for terrorists, that they're buried here among us, waiting to come out and attack us.
Yikes.
And I see this in other stories where the person has a metaphor and they let the metaphor get in the way of the story itself, so that they do something that doesn't really make sense because it makes sense in the metaphor, but doesn't make sense in the internal logic of the movie itself.
Okay.
So the part that doesn't make sense to me is, why didn't the Martians just take over the planet thousands of years ago when they came here the first time and there wasn't an advanced civilization with tanks and airplanes? Why did they just bury these machines and then wait, we don't know how long, to come activate them? To me, that just makes no fucking sense. And it kind of spoils the movie for me a little bit.
Bummer.
Everything else is fine. The effects are great. The performances are great. The things that, when that train goes by on fire,
yes,
I was like, oh, somebody's read the book, because that happens in the book. There's a bunch of people at the train station. Oh, the train, we're going to get the train and we're going to get out of here. And then the train just goes roaring by on fire. And they're like, well, I guess we're not getting on that train.
Yeah, I loved that part. That was glorious. Yeah. What a that's perfect detail. A little Easter egg for the OGs out there.
And there's a Tim Robbins character who's kind of a mashup of a couple of characters that the narrator meets in the novel, and then he has the name of a third character. Ogilvy is the astronomer in the book. That the main character is unnamed in the novel, and but at one point we get things from his brother's point of view. I don't remember if the brother's named, which leads many people to interpret it as H.G. Wells himself is the narrator, and so they'll often name lead characters in the movies or adaptations after.
Well, let me tell you something. Rachel, if you're listening to this, I hope you read War of the Worlds in Morgan Freeman's voice, because that is the only narrator that you need.
No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century.
Yes, precisely.
So yeah, that's my problem with the movie.
Okay.
That's what maybe keeps it from being a 5-star movie, is just that stupidity. I don't care for it.
Yeah, you don't like to put up with that silly shit.
Yep. Got some awards.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Got a Golden Raspberry.
Ew.
Oh, come on. No, it was nominated. Tom Cruise was nominated for a Golden Raspberry for Worst Actor. I don't think that's fair.
I don't either. I would like this. I thought he did amazing. Like, he was just... I think people... Here's the thing with this character, and I was, like, kind of worried about, like, talking about it, but just, like, in the sense of, I have experienced this in my life, usually with someone I've dated, where they are going through a divorce, have lost their wife, have lost their family, have lost their home, and then are just expected to, like, too bad, so sad, like, you gotta get up, you gotta go to work every day, and the, like, wife moves on, has another family, typically, like this. I've kind of just been in this scenario a few times, and I feel like that there are these moments where that this person is maybe portrayed or is seen in a bad light, and because not that the perspective is wrong, but that maybe I don't know, it's really hard. It's hard to, like, necessarily, like, put my finger on or, like, say it in the exact words, but I feel like this movie does just an incredibly great job of showing, like, the Tom Cruise character, like, not really knowing his kids, and his kids are hurt, and he's hurt, and you can tell that when he sees his ex-wife and she's pregnant, and just there's just so many, like, parts and moving parts in this situation. And any divorce is terrible, right? Like, it's just a shitty thing, but to see it in this just reality of just, like, the suck of it, Like, it's not pretty.
Mhm.
He is not portrayed as, like, a good person. He's not portrayed as a bad person, but you can just see that he's disconnected, and, like, because he's, like, miserable and in pain and has lost everything. And so, I don't know. It's just, I thought that it was great the way that it just showed the reality of it, but I think a lot of people hated him because this character is, I think even in our real lives, it's so easy to, like, hate this man. Oh, what a deadbeat kind of situation. And it's like, it's not necessarily that simple all of the time, as, you know what I mean? Yes, you should support your kids and take care of your kids. And I'm not talking about one person specifically or, like, one specific, you know, situation. I'm just saying I've seen this throughout my life, even, you know, with my stepdad and his family before us, you know. I don't know, it's just it's a shitty dynamic to be in, and I just thought they did a great job of showing, like, how really the reality of, like, how bad it fucking sucks. And I think that it was such a great dynamic to carry through the movie, with him fighting for his kids and them not really knowing each other in the beginning. And then throughout the movie, because they're in this trauma situation and they're trying to survive, that they do rely on each other. You know, there's these moments where every time Rachel, the young girl, like, doesn't want her dad to comfort her, or, like, wants the brother to comfort her, or even at one point says, "Don't leave me. Like, what would I do? Who's going to take care of me if you leave?" And the dad is standing right there.
Right. It's like, I'm right. Yeah. I'm right
but
here.
that's the reality of, like, a kid's feelings. When, like, you know, there's a divorce, this kid is feeling all of these big feelings for the first time. Whereas, like, when you're an adult, you felt sadness before, you felt hurt before. So it just really shows the dynamics of both, of the kid and the kid's hurt feelings, and the dad and the dad's hurt feelings, and even the mom and the new husband. They just did such an amazing job. And all of these kind of dynamics going into this kind of apocalyptic situation, it just added so much, not just, like, psychologically, but also I feel like physically, with even when they meet the guy, you know, the guy that's all, like, fucking weird and lets them in the cellar and is like, "You can stay with me," but then it's like weirds out, and, you know, he has to, like, kill that guy. Just all of these moving parts and these peoples and these character arcs, I just really appreciated it. And for that reason, for me, it's a 5-star movie.
I'll tell you who I didn't like, and it wasn't Tom Cruise. It was the son. Not that the actor did a bad job or anything. Just his weird obsession of, I've got to go, I have to see this.
Yeah.
I
can't believe he survived.
It wasn't even really, yeah, it wasn't even really, I have to help. So there's a couple of times when the military is going to go confront the Martians, and he wants to go run off with them. And when he finally does, he just keeps saying, I have to see this. Not, I have to help, I have to do something. He just wants to see it? I don't know. It was really weird, because you're not going to be any help. You're going to get in the way. You're not trained. You're a fucking teenager. Yeah. You're just going to get in the way. And yet somehow, so if you haven't seen this, folks, when the Martians attack the pregnant ex-wife, well, she's somebody's wife. she's the new guy's wife. They've gone off to visit her parents. And so Tom is now trying to get for some reason he thinks it's going to be safer there, I guess, or maybe he just wants to get the kids back to their mother and get them all together in one place. But that's where they're trying to get to, is her parents. And the son keeps trying to run off and do his own thing, which eventually he just does. And Tom really doesn't have any choice but to let him go, because some people who are trying to help are about to take his daughter away a few yards away. And somehow this little shit gets to the grandparents' house before Tom.
Yeah, but just barely, it looks like, because he is also, like, covered in mud, scraped the fuck up. Like, I was like, okay, he had to have just gotten there, because he looks, like, fucked up, and everybody else looks clean, like they have showered in the apocalypse. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know why he wasn't dead.
Yeah, I could not believe he survived. Which I'm, like, happy for them or whatever, but it would have been more realistic if he died.
But this is why the wife is not upset when she answers the door and just sees Tom and the daughter there, because the son's already there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she would be like, why is there only one child with you?
I would like to also say that there's one moment where there's like one deaf man, and I was like, oh, are we going to get some deaf representation right here? Negative. They were just like, he's deaf. He can't hear you. And then nobody signed anything. Nobody talked to him again. Right. Nobody, nothing. That was it. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then I was like, aw.
Some other things that are in the book, the red mist. Was there black smoke? Did they have the black smoke?
I don't feel like it was black smoke. I feel like it was like regular white smoke, like, you know.
But the red, oh no, there's a specific black smoke that they use that lays low. But the spraying blood around to grow the red weeds, and the scooping people up and putting them in baskets underneath the tripods. That's from the book.
Was
so I appreciated
so sick. I do remember when I first saw this movie when I was like in the 7th grade, and I was like, that's stupid, like the baskets part. Like that part, I remember like thinking that was so dumb. But now I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sick, actually. It's pretty cool. And then when the monster like sucks him up through his like little monster butthole, pretty sick. Loved it. Maybe it's his mouth, maybe it's his butthole, you don't know. Do you know what aliens fucking look like? No.
No, I don't.
Look like a butthole to me.
All right, so how many flying saucers? I think
5.
Go ahead and repeat it for the record.
For the record, 5. War of the Worlds 2005 is 5 flying saucers for me.
All right. I think I'll go ahead and give it 4.
Hell yeah.
But I think I've given it less in the past.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, folks, thanks for joining us. Be back here tomorrow for another in our 31 Days of Horror Mars Needs Movies. Please, if you like what we're doing, like and subscribe and rate and review wherever it is you're listening to this. Check us out on Patreon. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honey B.
Remember to keep watching the skies. We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Fun Time Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.